Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Bima Panca Arrasyid. I came from Balikpapan. I'm from class A22, and here I am going to fulfill my grade for Eapas. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. So here we go. But first, I'm not. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about in this video. But since I had to make a 20-minute long video, I'm going to talk about random thing that just pop up in my head. And so here we go. Uh, Recently, my sister has been married, and she held her wedding ceremony in Hotel Grand Kaliana in Baturaden. And to say the least, that was one of my core memories. Every uh, every single one of every single one of my sister weddings is my core memories. My first sister got married in 2018, and my second sister got married also in 2018. But my first sister is in April, and my second sister is in December. My third sister got married in 2022, and my fourth and last sister got married just a few days ago in November. And so, yeah, at my first sister marriage, I was in middle school. I was still in my early teenage. I was still early in my teenage, and uh, that was one of the thing, one of my uh, yeah, it was a good memory. I ate a lot of food, I sleep well, I met a lot of people, and I also got a really good bond with my siblings. My cousins came far away from Jakarta, from Jogja, and one of my uncles came far away from England. I had a England uncle myself. Yeah, that was a very, very random fact. My auntie, my aunt is an Indonesian, but she got married with an British person, and so yeah, she lived in England with her husband and her kids, her grandchild, etc., etc. But recently, she visited me and my family after like 3 years, and yeah, she brought me this watch, and she also brought some delicious chocolate, which I also like. It's not an expensive chocolate, but yeah, still, it's a good chocolate to say the least. And yeah, back to the topic. In 2018, my first sister held an not so extravagant wedding, but not so private one. Also. But yeah, since it was my first wedding from my sister, I remember every single detail of it. Like when what's the time when I arrived at Jogja, or what's the time what I ate, 3 times a day. I remember all of it. Like the first meal I had when I went to Jogja was ayam geprek burung. Eh, it's not ayam geprek burung, but KFC. And then the second meal I had was rendang with rice. I even remember what I had for snack. It's Oreo. And uh, what else? I ate a lot of food back then. When at my first sister wedding, I ate a lot of food, like a lot of food. I ate seafood fried rice, I ate gelato, meatball, etc., etc. And it was a quite good food. You know, the food taste is excellent, and the variant of food is also good. There's a ton of food ranging from Western food to Indonesian food. You got there, and what else? I also remember eating one of the best gelatos I had in my entire life. There, I may be exaggerating. I may be deluded in my nostalgic memories. But yeah, there was a good gelato for sure. And other things I remember from my first sister's wedding are the venue. The venue itself is very good. You got yourself a quite big villa area and ambience, the temperature there, the what else? Mm, the surrounding, the facility, it's very good. Uh, the guest there is not much. Maybe roughly 150 guests. Yeah, so it's not a big wedding extravagant party, but still, it's a good wedding. It's a good wedding party. The food is good, the guest is good also. Wait a minute. Yeah. So let's move on to my memories of my second sister's wedding. It was held in Java Heritage Hotel, so it wasn't extravagant married wedding itself. Yeah, I also remember it. The first day uh, of the ceremony was held in my house. Yeah, the ceremony was held in my house, and uh, the guest invited was from my neighborhood, all of my neighbor. You know, my mother prepared a ton of foods also. We got zupa soup, we got buffet, we got dim sum and such. Yeah, and so it was a good wedding also. But then let's move on to the second day. That was the most, as far as I remember, one of the most extravagant wedding I ever attended. Yeah, it was held in Java Heritage Ballroom, and it got a lot of fancy, it got a lot of fancy bucket. I wore a nice suit. I always laugh when I wore a nice suit. Yeah, I look really good that day. No, no joking. Yeah, and then the food there is also good. They got their Aston specialty, Aston best food, which which are uh, which are black pepper beef and uh, chicken, spicy chicken, which is good, really, really good. And they also got fried rice. Yeah, food you got in your regular wedding. You got kambing guling, etc., etc. Oh, it makes me hungry. The the talking about food, it makes me hungry. Yeah, so I gotta finish this video quickly so I can eat. And so uh, in my second sister's wedding ceremony, I really wanted to sing for them, but unfortunately, I can't sing because I felt embarrassed and nervous. So when my sister asked me to sing, I just went to my room and sleep. Yeah, like that. No, I chicken out. So yeah, so I chicken out and I sleep. I had a good nap, wake up, and then went back to home. So fast forward to 2022. It was my third sister's wedding, and since it's COVID outbreak out there, we held the ceremony at my house. It's not an extravagant wedding for sure. The guests visited are ranging from around 200 to 300, but nothing to be ashamed of. It was a good marriage. It was a good wedding. I mean, uh, the food there was gudeg, dim sum, and porridge. A simple party to be said. Um, there's nothing much I can say about the wedding since it wasn't an extravagant one. But hey, let's not be a douchebag. It was a good wedding party for sure. Yeah. Uh, what can I say about it? I ate a ton of foods also in every one single one of my sister's wedding. I ate a ton of foods. I also, if I remember it correctly, when I'm at my third sister's wedding, I'm also doing an interview for my organization in my at PMR. Yeah. So after a 3 hour wedding session, I went back to my room and do an interview. Yeah, that was one of my core memories. Okay, let's move on to the last wedding and the recent one. It was like it wasn't even a week since my sister's wedding, and yeah, it was held in Grand Caliana. I I wore a base cap and blankon, and I really look like a bangsawan maybe. If I be honest, yeah. Yeah. Uh, I'm a bit surprised by my sister's appearance because she lost like 10 kilogram in just 1.5 month, and yeah, so it was impressive. And she looked really good in that wedding, you know, in that wedding dress. She looked really good. I gotta appreciate it for her. Heads down for her if I had one. Yeah. So, what can I say? I had a ton of dim sum there. Yeah, and one of my biggest regret in that wedding marriage is I ate less than I should have been. I doesn't touch the buffet, nor the kambing guling, nor the sop iga, and it was a big mistake. And the reason behind it was uh the no, let's just say belt. It wasn't a belt. No, it's just like batik. kain batik that was being worn by me is very 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 tight that I hardly breathing and I can hardly eat myself. Yeah, and so behind that reason, I can eat a ton of foods, so I just eating some here and there. And yeah, the wedding is done, and since I already passed 15 minutes, that was the end of my story. Thank you for listening, and peace out.